celebration ended in ambience as Liberians whose refugee status in the Gambia expires on June 30th, but some of whom have chosen to be locally integrated, show their excitement. Already some Liberian refugees have been voluntarily repatriated. Modulamin Sise.
The National Water and Electricity Company informs its customers of the commencement of maintenance works on Feeder 1. A news release from NAWEC reveals that Serekunda, Kanifing and environs will experience power outage from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, June 23rd. From there we take our first break. We'll be right back.
It is a story of a land, of a people, where communication has been our song, our drumbeat. We sing with hearts full of joy. We dream of a better future, one that is upon us now. This is who we are. We are close to the heart of the world. We are as old as time. The soul of man began with us. We are Africa.
Welcome back. The Muslim Brotherhood has slammed the Egyptian Electoral Commission for the decision to delay the release of results of the presidential runoff vote. Candidates Mohamed Morsi and Ahmed Safiq are claiming victory. Thousands of supporters of the Muslim Brotherhood stormed the Tahrir Square, denouncing the move by the Electoral Commission. We have details in this report.
Supporters of the Muslim Brotherhood and other protesters are in Cairo's Tahrir Square following a decision to delay the results of Egypt's presidential election. Egypt's Electoral Commission says it needs more time to examine complaints by the two leading candidates, the Muslim Brotherhood candidate Mohamed Morsi and former Prime Minister Ahmed Shafiq. Both are claiming victory.
Delaying the results of the election means there is an intention to rig it. There is an intention to betray the elected president. They want to betray him the way they betrayed the elected parliament and 30 million Egyptian people.
Egypt's parliament was dominated by the Muslim Brotherhood before the military council dissolved it last week. The military now has parliamentary powers and will take part in writing the future constitution. The Muslim Brotherhood is threatening confrontation.
We will use all legal means, including popular pressure, in our struggle to cancel this move and to return the parliament so it can meet.
The United States is calling on Egypt's leadership to respect a pledge to hand power over to a new president before the end of June.
I totally agree with. Then we ought to.
We don't know yet who's going to be named the winner of the election, but we think that the military has to proceed with its commitments to do so. And so the actions that they've taken in the last week are clearly troubling.
For the Muslim Brotherhood, the military council has carried out a constitutional coup. Meanwhile, the military council has not announced when it plans to release the results of the presidential election.
Palestinian militants and the Israeli Defense Force have been trading reprisal attacks for 3 days in a sudden intensification of violence in the Middle East. Militants fired homemade rockets into Israel after 8 people, including militants, died in an Israeli air raid. And Scotland Yard warns it will arrest Julian Assange, founder of WikiLeaks, for breaching terms of a bail agreement. Assange jumped bail and is holed up in an Ecuadorian embassy in London. Let's look at this piece for more on those stories and others.
Violence continued throughout the night in the Gaza Strip as rockets were fired into Israel for the 4th consecutive day. Israeli airstrikes resulting from clashes with the armed military wing of Hamas killed 8 Palestinians in 72 hours. The Islamist organization announced it's willing to commit to an Egyptian-brokered ceasefire. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has spent a second night at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he's awaiting a decision on his request for political asylum. Ecuador's President Rafael Correa is expected to announce the country's position on Thursday. Scotland Yard confirmed that Assange faces arrest if he leaves the embassy for breaching the terms of his bail. Demonstrations in Chile's capital, Santiago, led to clashes between students and police. Young Chileans have been protesting for over a year against tuition fees they say are too high. Demonstrators say the government reforms are tantamount to the privatization of education. Despite the protests, the Chilean government has so far refused to budge on the matter. After months of deadlock, Haitian President Michel Martelly has authorized the publication of the country's new constitution. The text permits dual nationality and will give some 4 million Haitians living abroad the right to vote for the first time. Haiti's new constitution also imposes a 30% quota for women working in public administration.
We now take our second break. Sports is next.
Standard Chartered Bank ñëwaat nañ ak seen campagne bi with you all the way.
lii mooy ñaareeli xaaj gi.
ci njëlbeeni xaaj gi joxe nañ air conditioning bi ànd ak courant, American fridge freezer, courant buñ laajtu dara, atum dundal njaboot.
léegi ñu indil leen neexal yu mag a mag yi si gañey weer yii ñu ngi leen amal ñeneenti gañe laa yu tollool si ñaari fukki junne yi dalasi.
Standard Chartered. xanaa looloy gañe laa pour njaboot gi yépp.
jëndal ba sa xol fii ci Batimaar wala Kairaba shopping center lu tollal si ñaari fukki junne yi dalasi 5.5 kVA generator ak juróom benn weeri gas oil te doo ci fay dara.
nga ne ma ak gas oil itam.
neexal gu mag a mag gi nag tollool si téeméeri junne yi dalasi lu ñoo mën a fay si jàngum xale yi.
waaw fay njàngum njaboot lu dem ba ci téeméeri junne yi dalasi.
dencal sa xaalis si Standard Chartered Bank nga mun a bokk si gañmaa yi.
ànd ak sarta ñu tëral.
Welcome back. Yes, marched his way into the Barclays Premier League. Dundee Magpies number 9, made famous by legendary Geordies like Jackie Milburn and Alan Shearer. But Senegal star Papis Demba Cissé says he is only enjoying his meteoric rise to stardom. The Newcastle hitman was speaking to Grts' MS Jallow in Beaufort during a brief visit to the Gambia.
I'm really happy for him because nobody's perfect, but I can say that he's a perfect gentleman. Yeah.
He is Youssoufa Keita, a Gambian describing a Senegalian whose exploit has seen him being celebrated as the new Geordie king on Tyneside in the northeast of England. Papis Demba Cissé has, for the second half of the Barclays Premier League season, been the star attraction on the world's most watched football league. Smashing goals for fun, including one of the greatest goals in English football in a game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. But there is another side to this new kid on the block. The Senegal star and former Freiburg hitman is not your archetypal top football celebrity. After a hectic season in the Bundesliga and the Premier League, where he has been banging in goals for fun, Papis chose not to travel to Dubai, Paris or New York for holidays, but a 6-hour flight to visit family and friends in Senegal and the Gambia. I am in the Gambia simply to visit a special friend and brother who I have known since our time in Germany. The Sejo-born hitman explains his reason for a short stay in the coastal village of Beaufort.
He, Youssoufa, and his wife came to see me in Senegal just shortly before the Nations Cup, and I promised to return that good gesture when I am going to see my parents in Casamance. That is the reason I am here. I am from Casamance. I am with my dad to see this wonderful man, Youssoufa Keita. I have some friends too in the Gambia, and I have been out to see the country to visit them. Though I didn't have the chance to meet all my friends, I am asking for their forgiveness since...
For a man who is now playing top-level football in England, hitting the heights in the game came along the usual